What's going on, guys? Ben here, owner and CEO of Strong Insurance. We are going to give you guys a few additional pieces of information that we recently learned about 10-4, some new things that they're implementing to continue to give our fleet owners the opportunity to have the safest fleet they possibly can. So with that, guys, if you have not followed or subscribed, use the buttons down below to go ahead and get that done. We have some really cool content coming here at Strong Insurance. We're going to continue to break down and give you guys an inside look to the fleets, or excuse me, to the insurance carriers that we represent here, why we think they're good carriers for not only our agency, but our clients, and give you guys that back end look into what's going on, what they do like, and how you can continue to drive your premiums down and keep your fleet as safe as possible. So additionally, guys, with that subscription, that will allow you to get notified. We are getting ready to bring on Chris Orts, who is the head of agency distribution over at 10-4, as well as Sherry Riddick. She is the chief marketing officer over at 10-4. We're going to do a podcast style video for you guys. And instead of doing this 30,000 foot view of 10-4, we're going to really dive in to who 10-4 is and why we think they are such a strong partner of Strong Insurance here. So with that, guys, we are going to touch briefly on dash cams today. So one thing that we did not know, and that's relatively new to 10-4, is any of our fleet owners out there, doesn't matter if you have 5 trucks, 10 trucks, 50 trucks, 200 trucks, they are willing to give you guys dash cams in your trucks for free. Now listen, guys, if you already have existing dash cams in your trucks, they are not going to replace those dash cams. But if you are a fleet who is already insured or wanting to be insured with 10-4 and you don't have dash cams in your trucks, they will provide them through Nexar. They'll get the hardware out to you guys. It's a fantastic opportunity to make your fleet safer. With that, we are going to take a dive into some statistics around why dash cams have become so important. I know everyone hated ELDs when they rolled out. I'm going to echo this. They hated ELDs when they rolled out. Many of you could not live or run your fleet without it, especially 30 plus truck fleets. It gets very difficult to try to run those size of fleets without good ELDs. Dash cams are the next wave, guys. It is what is coming to the trucking industry. It frankly is already here. If you're not running at least outward facing dash cams and sometimes inward facing dash cams, you are behind the curve. We need to get you guys with it, and this is a great opportunity to do that. So let's go through some statistics of what we're seeing from savings and opportunity to be a safer fleet. So right now, the opportunity to flip fault is huge in the trucking space. As you guys know, they hold these truck drivers or you guys to a really high standard, and almost every single time there's an accident, they're gonna blame you. It's going to be the big rig's fault almost all the time, it seems like. And so by having that dash cam, there's many of them that as soon as there's impact, it'll record and cut out the last 90 seconds, 120, maybe even 3 to 5 minutes, and immediately send it to a cloud so it can be captured and stored. But 63% of the time, the truck driver is exonerated of fault because they were able to provide dash cam footage showing that they weren't the reason the accident happened. So with all the fraud and things like that happening, guys, that is a huge percentage. That's over half the time the exoneration of the truck driver is happening and the fault is getting flipped. So that one is huge. Now, the other one that we're looking at is overall, there's a 60% reduction in incidents just by having dash cams. Your drivers are going to drive safer when they know that they're being monitored or that there's a system out there that is keeping an eye on them to ensure that they're performing their safety duties. And then there's an 86% reduction in crash costs. So you may be thinking, well, I got in an accident. How is the dash cam going to reduce my crash costs? Well, it's not that I got in an accident, it's reducing crash costs. It's that there's less crashes over the year because my drivers are minding their P's and Q's. They're staying off their phone. They're not veering in and out. They're not driving fatigued as much. Things like that. Overall in a fleet is reducing your crash cost, your out-of-pocket crash cost by 86%, guys. These are huge numbers and all relay to a massive amount of savings. So let's look at real world fleet survey. This is probably one of my favorite group of statistics. This was put together by FreightWaves and Geotab together. They came up with these statistics here. So 41% of fleets saw claim values decline. So just by having the dash cam, almost 50% of the time, the value paid out on your behalf on a claim is going to be reduced by 41%. That's, once again, a huge number, guys. 45% saw reduced legal fees related to those accidents. So as we all know, lawyers aren't cheap, both for you guys individually or the insurance companies. And so having those reduced legal fees is huge as well. And then those who have dash cams, those who have recently installed dash cams, have seen not a 40% reduction, but 40% of those fleets have reported lower annual insurance premiums. Once again, almost 50% of those who have installed those dash cams are seeing reduced premiums. So there's a huge opportunity. 4 out of 10, or however you want to look at that, 2 out of 5 are seeing reduction in premium by installing dash cams. That comes in a few different ways, guys. Some of these carriers are going to give you, such as 10-4, they're going to give you discounts for having dash cams, but then you're also going to have less claims, less accidents, which result in better ISS scores and result in lower premiums. It's just a snowballing effect that having these dash cams have. Another really good one, probably one of my second favorite one here, is the severity proxy. So when you do have a claim, we all know that nuclear verdicts are through the roof right now. We are seeing claims that used to pay out $2-3 million, paying out $5, $10, $15, $20 million. So these nuclear verdicts, there are lawyers out there who are trained specifically to go after trucking companies, and they do it very well. There's venture money behind this, guys. I've seen hundreds of millions of dollars put behind these lawyer firms that have one job, and it's to go find trucking accident victims. And I shouldn't quote that. There are some incidences where there's victims, but and those numbers up, because guess who gets paid a ton of money when they do? The lawyers and the venture money that back those lawyers, guys. So high collisions fell by 6%, which sound like a lot, but when we're talking 20 million claims, seeing a 6% reduction in high severity claims is pretty legit reduction. Now, probably where not all of your claims are going to fall into these nuclear verdict claims, right? The most of them are going to fall into moderate severity. That's probably moderate to minor severity. In the moderate severity realm, guys, 59% reduction in the number of claims in the settlement size. So 6% reduction in settlement size on nuclears and 59% settlement reduction on your moderate claims, guys. So it's from the pudding, guys. The are definitely going to make your fleet safer. I mean, there's a world where it doesn't make your fleet safer. Now, I know that outward-facing dash cams are a little bit concerning. Even more concerning for a lot of folks is the inward-facing dash cams. I do believe that inward-facing dash cams are further into the future, and that's where we're going to see the ability to curb the distracted driving, whether it be text messaging, staring out the passenger driver window for too long, fatigued driving. These inward-facing AI dash cams can see that and set off alarms for the driver. Hey, if they're getting sleepy, it'll ding at them. Maybe 2 or 3 times that happens in a certain length of time, and it will then send a report out to your safety manager via text message. Nowadays, it'll text them and say, hey, driver 1141 has 3 fatigued driving incidences in the last half an hour. Maybe it's time to call that guy and say, I know you got 3 hours left on your time, but maybe we need to get you into a stop and get you some rest. So amongst other things, guys, there's just a ton of value. Not just insurance savings, guys. This is a multi-pronged aspect. You can save money by having better insurance or lower premiums. You can save money by reducing your overall crash costs, whether that be medical costs, whether that be man hours to facilitate tracking the towing of that truck and getting the truck back to the yard and getting your driver to the hospital and doing all of these things. There's a lot of administrative cost to that. So you have to look at what's called the total cost of risk, guys. What is your total cost? It isn't just insurance premiums anymore. It's everything else that comes along with every single crash that happens, the downtime of that truck, the unearned income potential of that truck because it's down, because there was a crash, the potentially for the driver, any deductibles involved there. and of course the increase in the auto liability, potentially cargo premiums, etc., can all do so. That makes a good portion of your total cost of risk, and dash cams are proven to reduce that total cost of risk, guys. So that's why we believe in dash cams here at Strong Insurance. That's why 10-4 believes in dash cams. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the numbers. If you don't have dash cams, you're behind the curve. We want to help you get caught up with the rest of the industry. So get a hold of either myself here at Strong Insurance or Amber, who is one of my top transportation specialists. You can call 10-4 directly and talk to them as well, but we'd love to work with you guys, especially if you're in the Midwest. We do write trucking insurance here at Strong Insurance in 44 states, 10-4 in the same majority of states that we do. That's one of the reasons we have a good synergy with one another. But if you are in the Midwest in particular, we see a lot of fleets in the Midwest, smaller fleets, 1 to 10 to 15 to 20, even up to 50 that don't have dash cams yet. And this is a great way to get you introduced into the dash cam world and show you the benefits of dash cams. So if you want to continue to learn more about the trucking industry and the trucking insurance industry, give us a like, give us a follow, and as always, keep it rubber side down.